Hi, everybody, and welcome to our session today. We're going to talk about pharmacy manufacturer coupons, what they are, how they're used, and how they're undermining our plan. It's one in a three-part series. So at the end of our presentation today, we'll give you log-on instructions for the other two that are coming in October and November. We hope to have you join us. These sessions are meant to be informative. We're keeping them to 10 minutes in length. So we're keeping them short and sweet. So who we are, Marsh & McLennan Companies, Tryon is a division of Marsh. We're the largest brokerage firm, consulting firm in the world. We're sister companies with Guy Carpenter, Oliver Wyman, and Mercer. So we bring you hopefully the best thought leadership. And today we look at what employers are struggling with. And these really haven't changed that much in the last 5 years. It's monitoring high claimants. They're certainly driving our cost. And the focus, the specific focus on pharmacy. So pharmacy is the fastest growing piece of trend, and it deserves a keen eye. And we're going to talk a little bit about that industry today. So today, for our purposes today, we're going to talk about how members pick the prescriptions. So when they go to the pharmacy and the pharmacist presents them with an option, if they have one, of the name brand is $100 and the the generic is $10. What plays into these decisions? So we're going to talk about the couponing. So the manufacturers, the pharmaceutical manufacturers of name brand drugs spent many years in research and development, developing these gangbuster name brand drugs that they sell, and hopefully make millions of dollars on, right, over the time to pay for the research and development and work that went into it. When these name brand drugs come off patent and they're available via a generic, they lose 90% of their market share in the first month. So they've devised a way to try to keep their market share, and it's called manufacturer coupons. So in this example, this is a good example, a name brand drug might be $1,000. The generic equivalent to that name brand drug might be $100. And the difference in copay, and employers have designed a copay structure to make it more expensive for a member to go and get the name brand drug than if they went and bought the generic. So their coinsurance or copay might be $50 for the name brand and $10 for a generic. The problem with the coupon is the manufacturer gives the member at the point of sale when they're standing at the pharmacy a $50 coupon, which waives their copay. So now the name brand drug is free, and the member would have to pay $10 for the generic. They would actually have to pay more for the generic with the coupon. The problem, here's the big kicker. The problem is the employer is still paying $950. The coupon was good for the employee, but the employer, the self-insured employer paying the claim, is still paying $950 versus $90 if the person picked the generic. So another way that you can say that, another good example is the price of a name brand drug versus the generic drug with the coupon and without the coupon, you can see it's pushing the member to the higher costing medication, not the lowest costing medication. So you can see in this example, the name brand drug is $500. The generic is $150, and with the coupon, the member is picking the name brand drug because of the coupon, because of the discount. So that's definitely working against us. And if you look at the manufacturing coupons that are on the market, they're specific to drugs that have gone generic. And the reason is because the manufacturer wants to retain their market share and garner that money. If you look at the top therapeutic class that has the most coupons, it's diabetes. And if you think back to the earlier sessions we've done, diabetes is either 1, 2, or 3 on your list of top drivers of cost. So this is why it's top of mind for employers. This is just another graph that kind of shows you the number of scripts, the percentage of coupons being used, and then the average cost share between the employee and the employer. And you can see the employer is definitely left holding the bag on the higher cost. So you might ask, why are manufacturers doing the coupons? It's because they want to keep their piece of the pie. We have an $11 trillion healthcare pie that they're trying to keep hold of. And it's all about money. And unfortunately, the employer share of it is where we're losing. So we talked about pharmacy being the fastest part of trend. Part of the techniques that we've put in place as employers and consultants is really looking at what methods could we use to lower overall cost, because right now benefits are second to payroll. It's the second largest business expense in most cases. And pharmacy is now almost 50% of medical and pharmacy spend. So pharmacy is growing at a faster rate than anything else. And if you look at the third top strategy that employers are deploying, is it's the member pays a difference between the generic and the name brand, and these coupons are undermining that strategy. So another strategy that you might want to put in place or think about, in addition to these solutions that we've talked about in the past, is perhaps we go with mandatory generics. So you say to your employee base, if there's a generic alternative, you have to go with the generic, and that's the only thing that's covered. If you want to go to the name brand because of clinical reasons, you can put in an exception, right? So there's always that opportunity that if a generic isn't effective, that the person may still get the name brand at no penalty to them. So some of these strategies we've talked about, but carving out your pharmacy and separating the medical from the pharmacy is a good way to manage your pharmacy, because it gives you a keen eye. You get more control over the clinical programs, these clinical programs that are definitely effective in managing your overall spend. So we hope you've enjoyed our time today. We told you we'd keep it short and sweet. We just explained what a manufacturing pharmaceutical coupon is, and we've given you some food for thought. We have a couple coming up. Of course, today was the couponing. We have a stop loss, very timely, right? We're going into fourth quarter and starting to think about stop loss renewals. And we're going to do a great webinar where I'm garnering the help of our practice leader to talk a little bit about things you should think about on the stop loss. And then in November, we have what employers should be thinking about or demanding from their partner carriers going into 2022, right? What data do we need? What disease management programs do we need? And what clinical programs should we be thinking about for our high cost claimants, which are driving costs? So my contact information is there if anybody needs to find me or wishes to chat with me. My telephone number is here and my email. Feel free to reach out, and we look forward to seeing you next time.